It's time to wake up. Indeed it is. For the birds have started their symphony to greet the day with new life. Mustn't one do the same? I do not request of an opera from you, dear, nor am I in a position to ask of such. But it is time to get up. Good morning. Why, yes. Daylight has broken the melancholic gleam of the night sky with another morning. An imperative time to wake up indeed. At least greet the day with a smile for your new life, my dear. You'd rather the window shut? As you wish. But I shall leave the curtains open to aid in your waking. I'm afraid I cannot permit your return to slumber. Your schedule for the day is quite packed indeed. Meeting with the Duke and Duchess' daughter, as they've been requesting for your presence for quite a while now. Then, off to the clothes shop as well for some fitting. Why, yes. There is an upcoming party the aforementioned subjects shall be throwing in celebration of their twins' birthday. Yes, indeed. Then off to the... Who am I? My, I'm pleased you seem to be more conscious now, seeing as you've regained the energy to send such colourful profanities. Although last I checked, humans have a far longer memory span than this. Are yesterday's events far too baffling to even ring a bell? Perhaps I'm mistaken. Can I not pride myself of simply being one hell of a butler no longer? Fret not, but rather, here. May I interest you in some tea? And would you please be as kind as to impart your pastry of choice, so I may pass it on to the chef this instant? Or would you rather something else? I would be ever so glad to be of service. Why, yes indeed. It is my duty to wake you as your butler. After all, if I can't do even that, then what kind of a butler would I be? Oh dear, you look confused. Is something the matter? Your whereabouts? Why, you're in your own home. My apologies if it isn't to your liking. We shall immediately make arrangements to change those of which that do not take your fancy. How was your slumber? Were the sheets to your comfort in the very least? The pillows fluffed to your liking? A nightmare? Do tell me of this nightmare, per se. Well, I can assure you I'm most certainly real. And before you, at your beck and call. But it is just as real as the schedule looming over your day. Yes? Oh, you mean him. Forgive my judgment. No, I'm happy to be sharing the name with such a beautiful creature as him. Oh, how beautiful he is indeed. Now then, settle down now, dear. It completely slipped my mind. You wouldn't be as used to these drastic alterations. Shall we slip you out of your nightwear as to get ready for the bath? Why, yes, I've prepared a bath and... Amongst the other things you are capable of, I do not doubt your capability of doing it by yourself. But, as your butler, wouldn't you rather take advantage of every situation where I would be of use? Not quite? You interest me more and more.
Oh, they're awake!
Barely, but their hearing is working at best.
Ah, great! Who am I? Oh, I'm simply another butler hired by my dearest Bessie. No, not the cat! Oh, dear me. I apologize for speaking out of turn. I don't deserve to live. Oh, please punish me now. Oh, but please be gentle.
I can assure you I do not know this person whatsoever.
Oh, how dare you! What do you mean you don't know me? Bessie, what about our past together?
Pay them no mind. Scones?
Grr! I'm getting sick of this little charade, Bessie. You're serving another master and... Oh! Please don't glare at me. I'll gladly shut up if you tell me to.
Unfortunately, indeed I do know of them. This is Grell, and the Reaper. But I believe you two have been acquainted, to which hopefully your memory will serve as a reminder.
Oh, does this mean I get to do my makeover now?
I prefer you do not sully their eyes first thing in the morning. Maybe it's best to leave the rest of the day for recuperation instead. I'll have to make arrangements later on and... Oh, it seems you prefer a nap. On the contrary, I suppose it would garner a more efficient result if I pardoned a few more minutes after all. Hopefully such would suffice to jog your memory of the occurrences of last... My. What do we have here? Another mortal? Such a waste of a soul, and a lovely night if you were to die. Fitting, given we are situated amongst graves, and yet... What a waste. A ghost? Oh, not quite. You look surprised, for one with quite enough will to summon a being like me. Or could it be desperation, that which brought me here? Now, don't fret. You are, after all, the one who summoned me, are you not? You never thought it would have worked. Why, your wits may be as non-existent as a life in your eyes. Interesting. You are the first to summon me with much hesitation. A will strong enough to call out to me, and yet seemingly done so out of anything but malice. Yes. Interesting indeed. One might easily infer your expression lifeless although fearful, whilst being oblivious of the thriving soul you possess. Simply delicious in every bit of it. What is one brimming with life, doing at such a desolate place? Why, yes, I am indeed one that your kind might refer to be a demon, the generous of my kind. Ah, good. It seems you have calmed significantly. Although indeed, you mustn't fear, for if I long to harm you in any way, why should I dawdle like so? You summoned me, is that correct? And whether it be with your full volition or not, something drew me enough to heed your call. Surprised? Why, surely if you called out, one must already be aware of my kind's existence. After all, do you not believe demons have roamed the lands for quite a while? Must be of such, seeing as that grimoire you hold presumably has these written knowledge upon its pages. Oh, it isn't a grimoire? Ah, a mere novel. It never fails to amuse me how dearly humans hold on to memories. It has always been established that memory was one of the greatest treasures any could possess. Humans too long to possess such rarity for even a single moment, as it is as unique and incomparable as the next. People had always wished they could have kept each little memory they held dear. Each singular moment around them, be it one with their family, a friend, or merely an experience. They longed to have record of what they kept dear. Some be sad, others filled with joy, but each just as precious as the last. My memories? I suppose this too shall be one of them. Whether it shall be good or bad is unbeknownst, and only time shall tell. Each second shall be etched within the crevices of my mind in an undying statement. Just like yours, people you've met, places you've seen, experiences felt, most fleeting, and yet the futile attempt to hold such treasure of the memory immortalized in those pages is quite amusing. So many moments, and barely a speck would even be recorded upon paper. Now tell me, what is it you desire? Is it fame and fortune? Power to influence every one of your desires and successes? Or maybe an infinite recording of these memories? The latter is quite easy to procure. And yet all just as pointless. Why, yes, indeed. You have completed the task of calling to me, but our bond isn't quite severed nor solidified just yet. And by forming a contract with me, you must be aware that such requires quite the grave payment. It depends on your own set conditions. Yes, whatever your goals and aspirations be, if set within the confinements of the contract, shall be my own. My loyalty, my service, my abilities, every single part of my being, all at your disposal. Sign the contract, and I shall be all yours. Oh, how long will the contract be valid for? It matters not whether it be for the rest of your life, or within a year. I will surely make such a delectable feast out of you when I finally get to reap my end of the bargain. But fret not, dear, for it is all in due time. You can ask for anything. A question? Oh my! And who is this? A stray, you say? How beautiful strays are, the innate wildness kept within them. Such wonderful fur which brings out the pink in their paw pads, those gleaming eyes, and yet still... feisty, aren't we? Sebastian? What a beautiful name. Why, it's like I've heard it 1,000,000 times before. But this time, it being a cat, I might just not mind it. Although you'd rather call them by their nickname, do tell me how you address this majestic being. Huh, Bessie. I really should cease presumptions when dealing with fickle creatures as humans. But, upon that note, one must simply muse that they be as interesting as they share the very trait with beloved felines. Oh no, never would I harm a feline, just as much as I, you. Such beautiful creatures deserve the best, do they not? Well, even I have preferences. Felines are simply some. I see. So he has kept you company for quite a while now. I wonder what might have prompted an independent creature to do so. Your question? I suppose I could humor your musings for a while, seeing as you are still having quite a difficulty looking for the reason of my summoning. Since I refuse to let your soul to waste, although decisions must still be made in haste, for I haven't the patience to exert on fruitless endeavors. What do people usually ask of me? Well, although I've only served few before you, humans tend to ask quite a bit. Money, riches, glory, anything to aid them in their own version of achievement. Has anyone asked for something selfless? I'm afraid not. It isn't a surprise, considering they did summon a demon. Another question? My, aren't you brimming with curiosity? I'm to humor you one last time, for I despise having to wait over nothing. My patience is thin, after all, and I am hungry. Now, what is this you've been meaning to? Love? Strange. I can't tell if they mean it, or deems it a worthy ruse to stall. Needless to say, I can't understand it. I am rather incapable when it comes to understanding much human emotion as far as being able to be in one's feet. After all, I am far from mortal. Although, as far as I am knowledgeable, it has been described as a feeling incomplete when the beloved in question isn't by one's side. Perhaps even a feeling of unease. I suppose there are quite the trifles one such as your kind would enjoy. Is that what you desire? You desire to not be alone, to have someone to care and be cared for. You are filled with surprises through and through. I see. You desire home. This is quite the vague desire indeed, and yet very much attainable. Now then, I have answered your quips. Will you finally answer mine? I see. Grave consequences powder your path, if you so choose to be bound to me. Yet if so, I shall do everything to bring you satisfaction. It is a self-serving contract after all, both to you and I. The price to be paid is of your choosing. Most have offered sacrifices, their previous riches, or even lives they deem to be a ticket towards achievement. Although one must note the gravity of each price must be equivalent, if not more than your goal. After all, the more you are willing to give, the more I can give in return. No, I shall not force anything of you, as such renders quite a disdainful fruit, one barely worth anything. If you so accept, until the day comes to ravish you, I shall follow your every command, heed your every word, and season your soul with the pure delight of satiating one's greed. Yes, that's it. I will give you everything, and take everything back as well. You will be mine.
Oh, Bessie, what great timing seeing you here. What's this? Ah, there they are. I've been looking for this little one for quite some time now.
Ah, I see now. It might have been out of desperation after all that I've been summoned. Tell me, you're already dying, aren't you? Yes, Bessie. My previous master has called me Sebastian. He was a brat and quite the handful, but he did serve a satisfying meal.
Ah, Bessie, I love it when you talk like that. But indeed, this wretched being is making me work overtime. They're the last I have to collect.
That explains why you chose to hide in this graveyard. Fitting indeed. Although it is quite the shame, seeing you brimming with life. Isn't it time to weigh your options carefully? I can easily keep you alive, if that is what you so desire.
Bessie, would you kindly step aside? Bessie?
I'm afraid I cannot permit you to meddle with the contract, Grell.
Ah, are you telling me to get away? But overtime and... Ugh, how dare you, puny little... It's already bad enough Bessie's on your side. But no matter. Let's end this quick, shall we?
Your time is running out, dear. And so are your choices. Now, would you sign my contract and make me yours?